What do you know about Bar Yochai, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai?
Bar Yochai made me, come back to the foundation of my being and touch my spirit. And it's going to be a time that I go to the tomb, I feel the energy, I look forward to that. And also Shammai, who was contemporary with Hillel, but I like Hillel more. I don't know where Hillel is, Hillel's tomb. But Bar Yochai was the greatest teacher who followed after Yashua, who came to be known as Jesus Christ.
That's a big statement you're making, a very young man.
Yeah, you gotta contemplate that for a while. For whoever you are, take it or leave it.
So you're saying basically that Shimon Bar Yochai is a reincarnation of Yashua, of Jesus Christ?
I didn't say that, but you heard the discussion. You heard the teaching that I did before. I didn't say that right now, but you said it for me. Mm-hmm. Yes, of course.
I mean, I was asking you, what do you know about Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai?
Bediuk.
And you said that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai,
who they call the acronym Rashbi.
Rashbi, come from.
When the Christians always ask this stereotypical slogan that they have, what would Jesus do? WWJD, what would Jesus do, or what would Jesus Christ do? The answer is, he would come back as Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai.
Wow, it's interesting.
Absolutely. Look at it. And if people haven't realized it by now, that's because of the schism that happened in the first 2 centuries AD, or after Christ, or the Common Era, as they want to call it now. In these centuries was a very pivotal time, transitional. Judaism at the time, which was the Israelites of the Second Temple period, Ezra's temple, that was under Herod, split up, and then you have some going off to form the early Christianity, what came to be known as the Christianity, the church, and the rest of them going back. The most religious, spiritual side of it was headed, their leader, their teacher was Bar Yochai.
Mm-hmm.
And that was into the 2nd century. This is widely known by the Jews of today, who still are connected with that. That's their lineage. But I'm saying that the schism occurred where the people were separated, depending on what you had to do under what was then the Roman stranglehold, the Roman authority.
That's very interesting and very important, facts, information, I bet some people will say, how does he come up with this? What do you know this from? People might just complain, how does he know this thing?
Have anything to say to people that
how can he prove
can't
it?
have an open discussion.
People, I'm just bringing that to you, dear, that people actually might resist what you just said, and
people resist truth all the time. That's why it's truth, and the minority of people get it. Most people will just swallow the lies because they taste better, or it's easier for them. The truth is hard to understand. Of course, it's going to be resistance, but do what you have resistance to, and learn how to tell what the difference is between lies and between the higher truth, because there's very different tastes to them. And you can, come to accept something that you need to learn if you're able to distinguish that. You need to discern and determine what it is. But people who can't think and they just, they won't accept anything anyhow. I don't cast my pearls to swine. People don't have to watch this video, but when I do real teachings, what I teach to most people is in parables, for when there's a group. and some they don't really understand it. But the real students that I have, who I don't say who they are until they're ready, they come to me very close, and I have them. You know who you are if you're out there. I teach them much more complicated in details, very more intimate, because they're able to accept truth and try it out, even though it's never easy, even for the high student.
Let me ask you something.
Yes.
What do you know about the story that was told about Bar Yochai on his way to the cave? If you know what I mean.
On his way
to the cave? There
was
a story that he and his son, they were just trying to get into the cave, escaping from the Romans, and they saw something.
What did they see? What did they see?
All these things are. You don't know the story, okay.
Just tell me, what did they see? Give me.
It was like this big dragon, trying to blow over to fire, and destruct the whole world.
That's the angel. Now I thought it might have to do something with Azrael, the archangel. I don't know if that's I don't know if I have to look it up again, because this is an old story, and it's been renewed to me. And I know that it's very important. The importance has come back to me. But it goes like this: is that the archangel said that he's been sent here to destroy the world. And
the archangel.
Yes, and this being. Let's just say it's a being. I mean, even if it wasn't the archangel, okay.
Celestial.
It's a being that's beyond. It's like what they see in the movies now, like these fake things that they show. But this is like the real version of it from the ancient. It's saying that it comes here to do a mission, or its work is to destroy the world with all of its inhabitants, because the Lord, the Creator, Hashem, couldn't find 40 good people, so it's not worth keeping. It would just it was just better to destroy the whole world. And Bar Yochai responded that maybe you can keep the world if we can find 30. Do you find 30? He says no. He says, well, okay, maybe you can keep the world, save it, and don't destroy it if you can find 20. Okay? And he says no. So he says, all right, look, for 10. And they keep lowering it. I think they go to 5, and then I think they go to 2. He says, if there's not 5, then what about me and my son? Because he was with Eleazar, his son, his great, holy, obedient son, a son of Bar Yochai. He says, then don't destroy it for the two of us. And the being, the angelic destroying being, says, no. And he says, okay, just for one, just me, just one. If it's for one being who is good and who is saved and who wants to do the divine plan and bring all of the world, all life and all creation into harmony, just for one, save the world. Let's just don't destroy it then. And then the being has to say, okay, so obviously he goes away, the being goes away, because Bar Yochai narrowed it down to himself, and it was shown that by this judgment, this decision, that he was the only one who was good and holy at that time, and for his sake, because of his request, the entire world and all of its wicked inhabitants, all of its disobedient humans and every other life would be spared for a time. Now, somebody needs to contemplate the story for a long time to understand the value of it and what it's all connected to, how it will give you wisdom beyond belief, beyond measure. And so what a great soul he was. I don't think he was tooting his own horn or just, making this up. It's just because these things really can happen, I assure you. And reason why he comes immediately after Yashua. Now, Yashua didn't run from the Romans. He took the hit for all of us. He was a sacrifice. Bar Yochai, on the other hand, ran because he didn't want to deal with the crucifixion again. And he went and hid for over 12 years until he got a bat kol. I think I pronounced that correctly.
Bat kol.
The bat kol told him, it's okay now, it's safer, you can go try it out. So go to the people and round up some students and start teaching them. Because you've been hiding from everybody for a long, long time. And he tried it, and then in fact for the second time he had to run away and hide for a certain amount of time, but not more than a year. So it was almost 13 years that he was hiding. Now, if Yeshua had did this, we wouldn't have Christianity in the same form that is dwelling on the crucifixion now, overly, but it wouldn't even have a crucifixion in it. It would have Yeshua, Jesus Christ, hiding, in a cave for 12 years or whatever amount. Or maybe more, hiding from the Romans and the false authorities and the wicked Israelites who deserve to lose the temple. So this is it. And by the way, also the great Kabbalistic book, Sefer, of the Zohar, is attributed to be written by Bar Yochai, Simeon Bar Yochai. And this is sometimes questionable, or it's tradition that's not provable, but we really don't have any better guess. And either in that form or the original form, he wrote the Zohar. And probably Eleazar, his son, helped him or was a witness to that. Eleazar.
What do you know about the Zohar book itself?
Study it, but don't think you're going to understand it. But don't let that be a deterrent. Still study it.
Are you studying it yourself?
If I need the reminder, I can go back. But yeah, of course. No, I should say I do, and I study it with other people too. I study. We do a group study, and the Zohar is very rich in symbols. It's a coded language. It's code, and it has all kinds of the metaphors and the things in there, multiple layer of meaning of what it's telling you.
Do you know anything significant about any letters of the, the Kabbalah and geometry goes really well together, and a lot of things.
Yeah,
Kabbalah
there's sacred,
is, very sacred geometry.
The letters and
letters,
numerology and
numerology. Yes.
I do know about that. I'm not doing so much right now that I can teach that off the top of my head. It's very mathematical and scientific. I think that you need to kind of have a study guide.
Yes.
And I need to
you can practice it
I need to put it out like the diagram of everything. Just like when you're studying like the tree of life, the Sefer Yetzirah, the Sephiro, Keter, Bina, Chokmah, Chesed, Chod, Givura, Teferet. I didn't say them all in order, but the first three were in order. And the last one down to number 10 is Malchut. Malchut. And that's the king. That's the kingdom. Keter is the crown, though. Okay, we're going to wrap this up because this is 14 minutes. That's what's going on 15 minutes, but thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks.
And thanks for the interview.